Hey guys, FunnyGuyTimmy here again for another microphone shootout. Before I send these beautiful, beautiful microphones back to my good friend Jake Lester, the SE-T2 and the Rode NT1, I wanted to finish up doing shootouts between them. And again, we're using the 2020, the Audio-Technica 2020 as our industry standard. Industry standard $100 microphone. It's on basically everyone's list for $100 microphones or starter mics or beginner mics. So it's always a really good one to compare against other microphones. It's not the most flattering, but it's a pretty standard sound for its price. $100, pretty standard. And we're pitting it against the SE-T2. Now, the prices of these microphones aren't even remotely similar. They're not even close. So this one is $100. The Audio-Technica 2020 is $100. And the SE-T2 is about $500, $600. It is insane how much this microphone costs. What doesn't surprise me, because it is a beautiful looking and sounding microphone, it also comes with a lot of features on the front, all these extra bells and whistles. I don't know how well you can see that. All these extra bells and whistles, probably can't. Extra switches and stuff like that help you give different sounds and use for different situations and on different sound sources. So it has more features, and it has a much larger capsule. It is, see, this would probably be more like the Sacagawea coin, and this is very close to being like a poker chip. Very similar to a poker chip. I just used that reference earlier. I don't even know how I forgot it. But I'm going to give you some silence so you can compare the silence. All right, and now we're going to switch over to the SE-T2. All right, so now we have the SE-T2 turned on. Again, they have the exact same settings, no compression, no EQ, nothing like that. Same gain, same levels. I think the gain is set to half or 12 o'clock, and the levels are set to 3/4 or 3 o'clock. And the only switches I'm going to be using on this shootout for the SE-T2 is going to be its standard cardioid setting. I'm not going to be using the pad, and I'm not going to be using the negative dB, because there's no point. There's no point in comparing a microphone that doesn't have any switches at all to one that has switches. It'd be like, what's the point? We're really just comparing the sounds of the microphones. So obviously this one is a lot brighter. There's a lot more clarity. The Audio-Technica 2020 sounds a little muffled, a little quieter. This one doesn't need nearly as much gain to get to a good volume. Just slightly different. If I wanted to get this one to sound like the same levels, I would actually turn up the gain or the levels just a little bit more to get the same volume. But again, that was all to show you that this microphone, doesn't need as much to get good volume, get good gain. So now we're going to give you some silence. All right, there you go. As you can tell, there's a little bit of a hiss. There's a little bit of noise. Just a tad, just a touch of hiss down at the bottom. But it's not it's not unusable. It's not that you can't work with that. That is totally reasonable. That kind of noise, that kind of hiss, that kind of just mechanical across the bottom would be easily overshadowed by music or sound effects or whatever other sound source or audio is being played at the same time they're using. So if you were doing like a commercial and they're doing music in the background, you wouldn't hear it at all. If it's being used for animation, definitely not going to hear that at all, because there's going to be sound effects, there's going to be music, there's going to be other voices, and they're just going to cut it in and out. So it's not unusable. But it is kind of surprising that there's a little bit more hiss than what you'd hear, I think, on the Audio-Technica 2020. It's a little surprising. Now, I don't think it's because this is an older microphone. My friend who sent this to me, it was kept very, very well. It's in a beautiful case, and it just looked like it was being kept in beautiful condition. So I don't think it's wear and tear. But anyway, so this is a $500 microphone. This is a $100 microphone. Pretty standard starter mic. This is when you're serious. This would be a career mic. I think most people's voices would sound good on either or. They would sound good on either one. Really, it depends on how serious are you taking your voiceover and how ready are you to take it this serious, and are you just starting out, or are you still kind of new to it? Only a couple of years, probably been doing this like 5, maybe 20 years. You can go on to this. But either way, these are both totally good microphones. The microphones details will be down in the description of this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't. Totally fine. Subscribe if you're new. Bell for notifications. Again, huge thanks to Jake Lester for sending me these mics to review. That's pretty much it. Leave down in the comment section below if you want to see any other microphones tested, reviewed, have any questions. Leave those down there. If you think one of these sounds better than the other, let me know down there. Totally fine. Let's figure it out. And until next time, peace.